Hi, everyone. Welcome to the second Matchbook Horse Racing podcast of the week. It's a Galway special. We're focusing not on the whole festival, but taking in the plates, which takes place tomorrow. That's Wednesday, and the hurdle, which takes place on Thursday, and any more besides on those days. Thursday's a really good card, in truth. It's got some real depth to it. Donn McClean joins us, and Matt Toombs as well, our resident jumps expert. Don, how's things? Are you heading down to Galway for a couple of days?
Yeah, all good, Tom. I was there yesterday for the day, and I'm back on Thursday and Sunday. So it's called pacing yourself. I think that's why. Yeah, that's the thinking process behind it. But it was great day yesterday. Yeah, brilliant. A few good winners and really exciting horse and won the opener, Mystical Power, Any Power's son. So it was a good day yesterday.
Matt, is this I take it Galway preoccupies your thoughts a little more than Goodwood. That's fair to say, right?
Yeah, just a little bit more. Was there again last year, and the crack's just absolutely fantastic, both at the course and in the town. Particularly for British viewers, if you've got a bucket list of places to go and festivals to see, this really should be on it. It is great fun, and as we'll see in races like Plate and the Hurdle, there's some good racing as well.
Yeah, and Matt's got a couple of those trends to help find some underbet horses, hopefully, in both the plate and the hurdle. Okay, a reminder to like and subscribe. Please do, because it makes it far easier for you to take in each and every podcast that goes out. It helps you. It helps us as well. So if you're enjoying our content, do like and subscribe. Right, Wednesday we go. We're going to start with the plate, the 640. Matt, I'll ask you to just kick straight off with the trend that you found, please.
So the trend is that in the last 12 seasons where there's been a Punchestown festival, 10 of the 12 plate winners have run either in the novice handicap chase or the open handicap chase at Punchestown. They both run over an intermediate trip. Both those races are grade A, grade 3 in the new Pilots handicap. So it's not surprising they're good guides. They're good guides for certain types of horses. And none of those 10 plate winners won at Punchestown, all were placed. More importantly, none won the plate off a mark more than £1 higher than they run off at Punchestown. So it's been important not to blow your handicap mark there. There were two runners from each Punchestown race this year. Kilcruck's got a stiff task up £12. I'll let Tom make the case for Andy Dufresne in a minute. I was interested in the other two to go well at huge prices, Authorised Dart and Lieutenant Command. The ground looks as if it may go against them. There's a lot of rain forecast for tonight. If the rain misses the track, they're both well worth a look. In particular, Lieutenant Command, the outside of the whole field, 51.0, only had 4 runs on fences quicker than soft, which includes both his wins. His only win over hurdles came here. So if the rain doesn't come, I wouldn't put anyone off throwing a few coins at him. I'm glad I didn't have an anti-post bet, actually, with the uncertainty about the weather, because my original fancy was Ash Tree Meadow, who was 7 lengths fourth in this last year, less than 3 months after making his chasing debut. Had it looked like there's going to be a sound surface, he'd win the selection, but the ground looks like going against him. Jack Kennedy's on Fury Road. So if the forecast's wrong and there's not much more rain, I'll suspect I'll be backing Ash Tree Meadow tomorrow. But assuming the ground ends up soft, I'll go with Ciel de Neige. He went off 2.88 for that grade A open handicap chase at the Punchestown Festival I've mentioned in 2022. Fair fifth there off 149 on the handicap debut. And the vibes were that Willie never got a clear run with him last season. He only ran 3 times. The last of those, despite not looking to take to the national fences, still running a good race off 152, 1 unseating, 2 out. He looked a good prospect for a top handicap before that. And if he's back in form, he could go well at a price off 147. He handles most types of ground, and plenty of these will be inconvenienced if it comes up soft. So at a big price, 21.0, he's the play.
I'll come to the ground and Don shortly. So Andy Dufresne sort of fits that trend, does he? That's not my intention whatsoever. It's more an insurance bet, because if he does win, Andy Dufresne, and I haven't backed him, I'll jump out the window in front of me. But he fits the billing, does he?
Yeah, he unseated in the open handicap chase that's produced 4 of the winners in that century, 6 this century. So it's been a good trial. Okay.
My angle into him is that if you look at the price he went off for that 6.0, he's knocking around at 21.0, the same price as your Ciel de Neige, as it happens. And I just thought, off a mark of 150, if I was willing to steam into him off 155 in the Grand Annual, I'd backed him the year before as well. And I remember the weight of money that came from this year in the Grand Annual. I know he was disappointing on the face of it, but I had thought a year previously in that race at Cheltenham when he chased home the all-the-way winner trained by Ben Paul in Global Citizen. I thought maybe this is a horse that wants the intermediate trip now. So I figured maybe 2.6.5 will stretch him. I don't know. But I thought off a marker 150 over a trip, which I think might be a little bit more his bag anyway than the flat 2 miles, I couldn't leave him unbacked at those sorts of prices. Andy Dufresne, ground-wise, soft will be absolutely fine. Although I would worry about his stamina reserves if it got very testing. Don, what are you expecting come day 3 of the meeting, come Wednesday, ground-wise?
Yeah, as Matt was saying there, Tom, they're forecasting plenty of rain towards the later part of today and tonight. So, and that makes me worried about Enniskerry. I'm trying to, when you've had a horse in line for a race for a while and then conditions are not going to be ideal, you kind of try and shoehorn him into the race. So he does have form on softer ground as a bumper horse, and I'm just hoping that the rain doesn't arrive in the quantities that they're suggesting, because to my mind, he's a real Galway plate horse. I'm sure he doesn't fit many trends. He didn't run in either of those Punchestown races of Matt's. He's 9 years old now, but Royal Rendezvous actually won as a 9-year-old, and he's a really lightly raced 9-year-old. He's only had 3 runs now over fences. And you go back to his Galway record, as we saw yesterday, we're going to see all week. Form at Galway, it's such an unusual track. It's a tight track, but it's a stiff track, which is quite an unusual combination, especially over fences. That big sweep and run after you jump the 2 fences in the dip. We've seen races change complexion dramatically in that run up the hill and around the home turn. So it's a track where you need to experience at Galway. Look, experience at any track is an asset to bring back to any track, but I think at Galway it's more pronounced than at most tracks. And he ran well in the novice hurdle at Galway. Then he won his beginner's chase last year. He won the Latin Quarter beginner's chase, which is often a good race, and he won it impressively. And when he won in the flat there at Leopardstown a couple of weeks ago, and afterwards Barry Connell seemed to be suggesting that he might not go for the plate, but he's going for it now. And Michael O'Sullivan, he's just such a very, very good rider, and he's Barry Connell's rider, obviously, and he's getting lots of opportunities wherever he goes. But he's a big asset. And then it's scary, his jumping in winning the Grade 3 Kilbeggan Novice Chase at Roscommon last September was very good. He's stepping out in trip, but he has form over 2.5 miles. So I'm hoping that he'll get to 2 miles 6 or 2 miles 6.5. And he's obviously in tremendous form, because Barry Connell, for whatever reason, has decided now to allow him to take his chance. And his flat run the last day, it was just a serious run. Now, okay, on goodish ground, but it was a really impressive run. It was his first run back since he was pulled up in the Drinmore Chase back at Ferryhouse back in early December last year. So he comes into it a fresh horse. And if he gets away with the ground, I can see him running a big race.
That is Enniskerry, who is 11.0 for Michael O'Sullivan and Barry Connell. We're going to come to Kilcrut a little bit later on when we talk lays. I'm going to give that away, but we're going to come to Kilcrut a little bit later on. Anybody have anything else to say on the Galway plate? Moving on. Good. Okay. I'm sitting the next couple out. I will bow to greater minds on the next 2 we're going to be doing on the Wednesday. So we're going to start with the 7.15, and then we'll move on to the last off the back of that. 7.15 is 2 mile half a furlong for a mare's handicap hurdle. Again, I'll read out prices as and when we get there. Matt, you can kick us off again if you don't mind. So you've got a win and place shout.
Yeah, it's a horse called Binks. The last time she ran on testing ground, she was half length second to Ottoman Style of 106 over 2.5 at Goran in February. That's worked out well. Ottoman Style followed up off £6 higher next time. The third and the 6th one next time as well. Binks won a maiden next time at Tremor on good ground before a poor run under a claimer at Cork. Brian Hayes, who's on at Goran and Tremor, is back in the plate here. Trainer Martin Hassett's had a good run over the last few months, and there are plenty of good ground 2-milers in this field. Binks' proven stamina and ability to handle testing ground should stand her in good stead here. I'd imagine that she'll be a decent price. So hopefully she's a play in the win, but also in the place market. She might run on past a few tiring horses if the rain does arrive.
That's Binks for Brian Hayes and Martin Hassett, 5-year-old, as you say. I haven't got prices as yet. I'll keep searching. Don, who are you with?
Yeah, I'm with Ballybon Belter. So I just think she's a seriously improving mare. I thought she'd get more than £7 for winning the last day at Punchestown. She won the Paddy Mullins Mares Hurdle at the Leopardstown at the Dublin Racing Festival, and that's always a really competitive race. She won it well, and she disappointed at Fairyhouse then at the Grand National meeting in a competitive handicap hurdle, but back in the Adair Manor final at the Punchestown Festival, she was very good again. Like, she only got home by a length from Bread and Butter, and you can argue that Bread and Butter was maybe a wee bit unlucky. She got in behind, she got stuck in a little bit of traffic, got out late and stayed on well. But Ballybon Belter, she hit the front a long way out, and she was probably idling on the run in. I thought she had a wee bit more in hand in the winning margin, and the £7 hike was fine, brings up to a mark of 121. Aidan Kelly takes £5 off. Aidan Kelly's very, very good young rider. He's a conditional going places, and his £5 is big value. And like she stays further than the trip, than the extended 2 miles. So I think that's a help at Galway, and it'll be a help as well if the ground softens. She's still a lightly raced mare, and like, she's only 5, so I think there's plenty more to come from her. I think she's a mare who can progress again, and be better than 121 rated mare. So yeah, I think she's going to be a big player here.
Okay, yeah, struggling for prices. Do you think, is she most likely to be towards the top of the betting? Do you think, Don?
I have no idea, Tom. I'm hoping not.
No, I know. I'm trying to go through.
Yeah, I don't think it's priced. I haven't been able to find prices anywhere. So yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprising. I mean, the JP McManus colours straight away, that's going to attract bookmakers' attention. But I like that it's normally an open enough, like it's a really competitive race, and the winners down through the years have been most of them have been double figure prices. So I think
they all have. Well, no, actually, you've got to go back to 2016 when our Kylie took it for Brian Ellison at 10.0. But otherwise, yeah, big prices. I mean, that's the nature of all these races at Galway. They are 20 runner fields, all the races we're looking at by and large. So you should be getting a half decent price. Doesn't make it easy. The 820 we come to next is over 2 miles, 6.5 furlongs. It's Galway Handicap Hurdle. And Don, I'll let you kick us off with this. Where are you looking in the last?
Yeah, again, no prices that I could find. I suspect Purple Mountain might be towards the head of the market, though. Al Hanlon's mare, who I think she won the mares race last year. And Zoffany Bay is what I'm looking at. Peter Fahey, he doesn't kind of get the press that the Emmett Mullins or the Willie Mullins or the Dermot Wells do at Galway, but he does very well at Galway. He had a very good Galway last year, and he had a few crossbars as well last year and the year before. So I wouldn't be surprised if Zoffany Bay, if he's had him in mind for this race for a while. He's a fascinating horse, because on his first run for Peter Fahey since he joined from France, he went to Ascot and ran in a competitive handicap hurdle there, and was only just beaten by Irish Hill at a big price. Then he kind of seemed to lose his way a little bit after that. Went back to Sandown and was well beaten in the Imperial Cup when he was a much shorter price than he had been for the previous race. He had a nice break after that. He came back. He had a good run on the flat at Tipperary, and then last time at Tramore, he won what's called the Tramore Derby, and won it well. Stayed on well. That was over 1.5 miles. Of course, it was. It's a Derby, and then back over hurdles. He's 9 years old now, and he's had plenty of racing, but he looks like he's improving since he's joined Peter Fahey. And yeah, I think he's got plenty in his favour. He handles soft ground as well. And I just think that there's a good chance that flat run at Tramore would have been the race that'll bring him forward nicely for Galway. And Peter Fahey's his horses are that he had a real purple patch a few weeks ago, and his horses they've been running well recently in the last couple of weeks without winning. So he's always a man to be feared, and especially at Galway. So I think Zoffany Bay. And again, I've no idea what price he'll be, but I'm hoping it'll be a bit of a price.
Yeah, I think he should be off the back of. I mean, I backed him at Sandown. He was disappointing that day. Peter Fahey's horse, and his brother had one running, I think, that day as well. They were both a bit disappointing. Mind you, I suppose he won on the flat last time. You know what's going to happen now, Don, don't you? Now you've talked up Peter Fahey. You know Coventry's going to win. First start for Peter Fahey. I'm afraid it's almost a given.
Probably.
Yeah. So he's got a couple in the race, but Zoffany Bay for Don. Matt?
Yeah, I was interested in him as well, but I came down on the Mullins horse, Will of One, who finished powerfully to bolt clear on the run-in under Patrick over 2 miles. Ballinrobe last time of 104. Form's worked out well. Second solitary man won his subsequent start, £3 higher. Third's also won since. That was on good ground, and he is £12 higher, but he's out of a Fleming's Firth mare whose progeny, as you might expect, gone on testing ground. He looked to handle it himself when he was a solid second on his return to the smaller obstacles at Fairy House the previous run. Having been ridden pretty conservatively, he finished really strongly over 2.5 there. That looked like a bit of a confidence booster. Different proposition last time at Ballinrobe over a trip that looked too short for him. £12 is a lot, but it may not be enough to stop him. And I think the way he's shaped, the step up to 2 miles 6 may well improve him further.
All right, that's the 3 we're looking at on Wednesday done. Off the back of that, we move on to any others, which I don't think we've got. That's it for Wednesday. Yes, everyone? Confirmed. Good. Matchbook Zero long shot then. So reminder that market goes live 10 a.m. every day. There's no maximum bet now. There was £20 there, but that's not the case. You're most likely to be getting better odds because of the nature of an exchange, and there's zero margin on Matchbook Zero, and there's zero commission. So all your winnings are all yours. Most likely to be getting best odds. It's well worth checking out. And we're going to give you a long shot that you can back on Matchbook Zero and hopefully make a good bit of cash. Mine's Andy Dufresne for pretty obvious reasons. The only horse I'm backing on the day. That's the 640 at Galway, the plate. Matt?
I'm taking you on the same race with the same owners, Ciel de Neige, 21.
And Donn?
It's all at the same owner as Ballygon Belter. Yeah, well, I don't know what price she is, but I'm hoping she'll be a long odds-ish price.
Hopefully a good day for the green and gold. You got one lay for us then, back in the plate. Now, I guess you've already spelt out, Matt, why Kilcrutt wouldn't be for you because of that huge hike for the Punchestown win, but he was pretty good.
He was very good, but just to give some context to this, 160 is the highest mark that any horse has won any Grade A handicap chase, Grade 3 in the new parts, off in Ireland any time this century. And that was Royal Rendezvous in the 2 mile 5 open handicap chase at the Punchestown Festival, which is usually a fair bit less competitive than the plate. Now, handicapping has changed. Type of horses being able to plate have changed. Last year, Hewitt won off 155, the highest mark defied this century. But he was good enough to be in contention in the home straight and the Gold Cup. And 4 horses have tried to run off a mark of 160 or more in the plate this century. They finished 10th, 11th. 2 were pulled up, including Road to Riches, who went off 3.25 favourite. So I reckon to be winning off that sort of mark, you need to be Gold Cup place standard. And I don't think Kilcrutt's that good. The ground is probably going to be softer than he wants. So I think he's the wrong favourite. It wouldn't surprise me if the rain comes, he doesn't go off favourite. And he's definitely one I want to take on in both the win and the place market.
Okay, that's Kilcrutt at the head of the betting at the moment, around about 6.0. Matt's going to lay him win and place in the plate for the reasons he's given. Best bets on the Wednesday, I'll go Andy Dufresne in the plate. Donn?
And a Scary in the plate.
And a Scary in the plate. And Matt?
We'll have one in the 2 mile 6 handicap hurdle.
Those are your 3. And you could do a little each way Trixie if you wanted, because you could land the place betting, and well worth putting those in together for those 3. Hopefully, anyway, it's an open enough day. As is Thursday, we're going to start with the Galway Hurdle, the 5:05. Matt Toombs with the trend, take it away.
So the trend for the Galway Hurdle is that